Could you give us a ballpark figure on the biggest financial year you've had so far?
Yeah, 43.5 million. When it's your own business, you tend to remember things.
Elon Musk, is he happy? No, he's never happy, and that's why he's so successful, right?
What is the biggest financial year you've had in business yourself?
2020 we sold for...
Right guys, so we are here in London. We're trying to find the business owners of London, the millionaires and the billionaires, taking them back to their step one and any advice they have for the younger generation trying to get into business. Let's go into the video to the first interview. Let's go. Excuse me sir, question for you. What was the first thing you did to start your business? I can tell you're a business owner.
I am, but I've got to go.
Can we ask you 2 questions for the channel? We're on a mission to inspire 1 million young people into entrepreneurship.
First thing you do is you fail and you learn from it.
So what line of business are you in?
I'm in consultancy.
You're in consultancy. What was the best year you've had in business so far?
In the millions.
In the millions. Can we ask you one more question? So if you had to go back to your 20-year-old self and give him one piece of advice, what would you tell him?
Take risks.
Excuse me, sir. Question for you. What was the first step you took to start your business?
Well, I haven't got on my own business. Is that?
Oh, you haven't?
No.
You look well dressed. You look like you do.
VC, we invest in technology companies. So we do the other way around. We invest in the companies. Yeah.
Can I ask you 2 questions for the channel? We're trying to inspire young entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So what is it that makes a company like investable?
Well, we invest at not the earliest stage, what we call late stage growth, when companies are commercializing.
Yeah.
So they have deep technologies, but they're starting to make money from it. We need to speak to customers, we need to see money coming in, what their revenue model is, what the market size is. I think we like founders who are very single-minded, a bit weird, a bit different, those types of people that normally don't fit into everyday life. Because being a founder isn't everyday life, right? Exactly. It's easy to go and get a job like me. I couldn't do it. You have to be a bit of a weirdo, very single-minded, prepared to make a lot of sacrifices in life, right? I think Elon Musk, is he happy? No, he's never happy, and that's why he's so successful, right? So you've got to balance that up with life. You've got to make a lot of sacrifices. We want to see that. The other thing for us is if it's a European or UK company, they need to have a strategy for the US. That's the biggest market, right, for tech. You're never going to become a great company unless you can crack the US.
Let's say if you were starting a company today, what industry would you get into?
So we invest in deeper technologies, so everything around the arc around AI.
Yes.
I think that the US has obviously cornered the market when it comes to AI models. I don't think there's anything's ever going to take on Anthropic, but there's an arc of companies that supply the compute to Anthropic, and there's an arc of companies that are building on top of Anthropic. On both of those sides, there's really interesting opportunities for us. Not too close, because you don't know where Anthropic will come out to. But the further away you go in that arc, there's really good opportunities. So if you have a particular skill in a particular sector, could be sports, could be semiconductors, if you can build something on top of Anthropic, but that's quite far away, that's the type of thing we'd be interested in.
So there's anything else that a young person can take from this interview where if they're building a company they need to really focus on if they want to attract investment?
I think there's also an element these days where you want to be the next big thing. It's very easy to rush out and speak to every fund in the world and say, I've got a great idea, give me some money. You get a lot of no's, and we know you're going to get a lot of no's, but sometimes it's hard to come back from a no. If you think a bit like dating, if you're a guy and a girl and you go to approach someone of the opposite sex or the same sex, whatever, and you get a rejection, it's very hard to turn that rejection back into a yes. So sometimes you need to time that right. Think about the type of investor you're going to. Are they early stage? Are they later stage? What do they want to see? And go with them at the right time. Don't go to somebody like us when you don't have any customers, because we're just going to say no. And there's so many companies out there, we're not going to look at you again. So timing of that is really, try to make yourself the next big thing. Maybe spread rumours and gossip towards those people around the other edges, and then come in at the right time.
I appreciate your time so much. Thank you for that. Excuse me, sir. Question for you. What was the first thing you did to start your business?
Oh, sorry?
What was the first thing you did to start your business?
How do you know I've got one?
I can tell.
How?
I can just tell.
Really?
It's the aura you have about you. So what line of business are you in?
Building materials distribution.
Could you give us a ballpark figure on the biggest financial year you've had so far?
Yeah, 43.5 million. When it's your own business, you tend to remember things.
So can you tell me the step one? How did you start this company?
With Very little. It was in 1999, and I lived in the office in a sleeping bag for the first 4 years because you need to save your pennies, invest it back in the business.
How important is that resilience then into starting a business and making it successful?
Extremely important. Without that, you won't do it. You won't succeed.
You won't succeed. And what is the best piece of business advice anyone has ever given you?
Remember that in order to succeed in business, there's two things. First of all, you have to be a psychopath because you have to kill those who want to take it off you. And secondly, conserve cash.
Right, so we are on our way to interview an entrepreneur that sold her business for over £13 million. Let's see what advice she has for us and stick around to the end so you don't miss the interview. What is the biggest financial year you've had in business yourself?
Probably the year that I sold the business. So we sold, 2020 we sold for 13.2 million.
What was it about your business that allowed it to sell for that £13 million?
We had an insane brand, but also we were incredible about the delivery that we did. Yeah. So we were designing and building services for government and healthcare, and we became synonymous with delivery in that space.
And what is the secret behind building a brand that can scale to that £13 million?
Well, I think the secret to building a business full stop is a lot of fucking hard work, to be totally frank. But I think from a brand perspective at the minute, you have got to have somebody who wants to be out there building their personal brand as well.
So tell me a secret then. So what is the difference between doing loads of hard work in something that's not particularly worth it and actually focusing on hard work which is worth it to build a brand?
That's a great question. I guess maybe there's an element of experience, but there's also, you've got to have resilience. Not everything you do is going to be right. You're going to do loads of things wrong. And I think it's about, being kind of a bit selective with your time.
Yeah. Did school teach you any of this?
Absolutely not.
Where did you learn this from then?
I guess for me, I've been an entrepreneur for as long as I can remember. So kind of first business thing was a bloody car washing business at 13. But I have entrepreneurial parents. We're a very entrepreneurial family. But no, school for me was socialising, if I'm honest.
Do you think everyone can be an entrepreneur? Is it something you learn? Is it something you gain? Is it from your parents? Where does it come from?
I think it's, I'm not sure everybody can. I think it requires a risk profile that a lot of people don't have. A lot of people like the security of, working for somebody else, but they also like that, guaranteed salary at the end of the month. And I think for entrepreneurs, we're wired slightly differently.
So if you lost everything today, in 2026, what industry would you go into?
Well, without question, it would be AI, but I think everybody will say that.
Yeah.
I think the interesting bit here is you've got to double down on the stuff that you actually know about and leverage AI to make that better from a quality, from a speed perspective. So for me, I know consultancy, that's my world, and I guess I would want to take some of that learning and I'd want to leverage AI to bring something to market that would rival the current consulting model.
I like it. And when you sold your business for over £13 million, did you ever doubt yourself in that process?
I constantly doubt myself, and I think the reality is for lots of entrepreneurs, I think it is that feel the fear and do it anyway. Yeah. So, I still have imposter syndrome. I still get nervous sometimes when I'm jumping on a stage. I probably get less nervous now if I'm trying something new, but I guess I've had a number of years of doing it, but I think it's human to feel that, and I'm not sure that's ever going to go away. I was at an event a couple of weeks back, Fast Growth Summit. Yeah. That question was asked, and everybody in the room, we're all entrepreneurs, everyone was like, laughing, because everyone was thinking we still all get that imposter syndrome.
And did anyone ever doubt you in your circle?
Yeah, I'd say a lot of people actually. So I remember, great story, but doing my A levels, the teacher said to me, English and history are my favourite subjects, but I was a handful at school, and I remember the teacher saying, don't even bother taking the A level rate because you haven't studied, and you're not going to get a qualification, and so. I think the reality is ADHD wasn't even mentioned at that time. I'm very ADHD, and I think they just thought I was a naughty bastard, and they would be right to some extent. But I would say there was plenty of teachers over the years who doubted me, and I would have doubted me at certain points as well. But if I had the confidence that I have at 48, at 20, I'd have been very dangerous. So it comes at a certain time.
And if you could go back to your 20-year-old self and tell her one thing, what would you tell her?
Okay. So I guess I've got two answers to that.
Yeah.
I partied very hard. So you're going to get personal response and at business.
Yeah.
So I partied very hard, and I'm now 12 years sober. So I would say to 20-year-old me, it is going to get a lot easier, and I would also say probably have more fun. Do you know what I mean? I guess it's a real balance that, because
so the trade-off.
The advice is totally contradictory, but the advice would be party harder, because you're going to have to bin it off anyway, so you might as well crack on now. That would be the advice.
What would be the business advice?
I think the business advice would be back yourself. I was not as confident as this at 20, and so and I would absolutely say, the love of public speaking will come. I was terrified of it, and it was all I wanted to master. So I would say that.
Thank you so much for speaking to me.
My
I appreciate
pleasure.
that. Was amazing.
Absolute
Thank you.
pleasure.